What's going on, guys? Welcome to this season's playoff bracket reveal. Finally, time to get back into PowerPoint and get this thing rolling. We're going to start at number 1. We're going to work all the way down to number 12. We might do like the first teams out before we reveal the last couple. We'll see how we want to do that. But starting at number 1, we've got, of course, undefeated Clemson, the only undefeated team left in the field. They were able to go out and win the ACC championship against North Carolina. That's good enough to get them the number 1 seed and a first round bye. At number 2, Houston Cougars. Our team was able to go 12-1 on the season, SEC champs in our first season in the conference with a big comeback victory over Florida. Good enough to get us the number 2 seed and also a first round bye. At number 3, Ohio State comes in at 10-2. They did not play in the Big Ten championship, but their record and resume was good enough to put them at number 3, giving them the first round bye as well. And the last team with a first round bye, the number 4 seed, is going to be the 10-3 Wisconsin Badgers. Big Ten champions, huge win in that one. And the only reason they're behind Ohio State here is because Ohio State does have the head-to-head. But they were good enough to make it in at number 4. So, of course, the next 4 teams are going to have home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Starting with number 5, we've got the Stanford Cardinal at 10-2. Again, a team that did not play for the ACC championship game. Obviously, Clemson at 13-0 was able to qualify for that one over them. But they were able to finish at 10-2, had a good enough resume to put them at number 5. At number 6... it's going to be Penn State 10-3, a team that we played in the regular season and won like 63-20 or something like that. But they come in at 10-3, having beaten teams like, I believe they beat Ohio State and Michigan. Couple of big wins there, and ended up getting beaten a couple regular season games and lost to Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship. But they were good enough to get in at number 6. So the number 7 seed is going to be the Florida State Seminoles at 9-3 on the season. Obviously did not play in the ACC championship either, but they definitely had the resume, some big wins, able to get in at number 7 and get the first round home field advantage. And the number 8 team, the last team with home field advantage in the first round, is going to be the Minnesota Golden Gophers, having a huge out-of-nowhere season, coming in at 9-3. Ended up getting some big wins over teams like Ohio State. I think they beat Penn State as well, had some huge wins. Did end up losing a few that they probably shouldn't have, but they were definitely strong enough to make it in at number 8. So we are going to reveal 9, 10, and 11, and then we'll take a look at the first 4 teams out, and then we'll get into the final team in the bracket. So at number 9, we've got Alabama at 8-4. Sort of a controversial one. Don't call me a homer, but as a big Bama fan, I always like to see them in. But, you know, I thought they had a good enough resume. Their only losses were 1-score games, a couple of them being in overtime, and they had some big wins over some top 15, top 25 opponents. So they were good enough to get in at number 9, and they also may have had the head-to-head advantage over some of the other teams further down. At number 10, we've got the Michigan Wolverines at 9-3. Michigan, while they did lose a lot of their high-profile games, like losing to Ohio State in the last game of the season, they did still have enough good wins to get them in at number 10. At number 11, Tennessee. The Tennessee Volunteers came in at 9-3, having lost a couple of games, including one to Alabama, and losing on the road against Vanderbilt late in the season was not a great look. But they did have some top 25 wins that really helped boost them up and get them to that number 11 spot. So before we reveal the 12th team, we're going to go ahead and look at the 4 teams that have been left out of the playoffs. And pardon the comically wide question marks, I am not a graphic designer. That's the best I could do. Coming in at number 16, it's going to be the Syracuse Orange at 9-3. They were able to get some big wins this season, but ended up losing in the ones that mattered. So not quite good enough to break into the top 12. At number 15 is going to be San Diego State Aztecs, who did win their conference and were able to get some big top 25 wins over teams like Hawaii and ended up losing to Eastern Michigan. So they end up finishing at 11-2 and not able to get into the playoffs. At number 14 is going to be the Kansas State Wildcats, another team similar to Syracuse, that while they didn't play for their conference championship, they did finish at 9-3 with some big wins that turned out to be not so big at the end of the season and ended up losing the top-ranked matchups on their regular season. So they finished at 14, and then at number 13, the last team out of the playoffs is going to be the Eastern Michigan Eagles at 11-2. Sort of a controversial one, the highest-ranked Group of 5 conference champion. They were able to win their conference against Bowling Green by a score of 35-34, I believe, which is just was not impressive enough to get them the boost they needed to get into the top 12. So with that out of the way, that leaves us with one last team to reveal. At the number 12 spot, it is going to be the Cincinnati Bearcats at 9-4. Really controversial here. They have 4 losses on the season, but they ended up going out and winning the Big 12 Conference Championship. And with their resume, the committee thought they deserved the 12th spot over the 11-2 Eastern Michigan Eagles. So they're going to be facing off against Stanford on the road for the round 1 matchup. And that's going to be your bracket. So we're going to go ahead and jump in and simulate the first round games and see who comes out on top. So the first matchup we're going to be taking a look at in this opening round of the playoffs is going to be a 12-5 matchup. Cincinnati taking on 5th seed Stanford. Stanford pretty much has the advantage in every category, but Cincinnati is a conference champion. Stanford isn't, so that might weigh more in their favor. Who knows? Let's go ahead and jump into the highlights, see who comes out on top in this one. This game has been an offensive showdown, back and forth. The lead has gone. It's tied at 42 now with 2 minutes left, but Stanford's going to run it in for a 5-yard touchdown to take a 49-42 lead. Cincinnati will have to go down the field and score a touchdown in 2 minutes to help take this one to overtime. 2nd and 10 for Cincinnati. Ty Snyder, the quarterback, is going to throw an interception on the sideline. Not looking good from here. They do still have 3 timeouts, but it's going to be tough to win after that mistake. On 3rd and 7, pass is complete over the middle, but he stops short. So they're going to attempt a long field goal here, which would likely put this one out of reach. The kick looks just long enough, and it's right through. Stanford gets the field goal, and they're going to come out on top 52-42 in this one. Tough luck for Cincinnati, but you got to give them credit for sticking in there and keeping it close. 11 seed Tennessee taking on 6 seed Penn State. This one a little bit more evenly matched, but I think the key matchup here is the number 7 scoring offense in the game taking on a pretty lackluster Tennessee defense. Tennessee does have the number 12 pass offense in the game, though, so it should be interesting to see who gets the upper hand in this one. Let's go ahead and jump into the highlights. So Tennessee trying to pull off the upset here. They're up by 8 in the 4th quarter. Penn State's got a 3rd and 7. On the screen pass, he's not able to get the ball off. He's going to go down for a sack, and Penn State is going to have to punt here on 4th and 20. Tennessee able to move the ball all the way down the field, running the clock out. Last chance for Penn State. Not able to get the stop there. Tennessee picks up the first down, and they're going to run the clock out here. So 38-26 is going to be the final score in this one. Tennessee just pretty much dominated the whole game. They were up 31-7 at halftime. Penn State kind of able to claw their way back in a little bit, but Tennessee ended up holding out and getting an 8-point win. In this 10 versus 7 matchup, Michigan comes in with a really good offensive team and sort of a middle-of-the-road defensive team. But Florida State comes in pretty much balanced across the board, so once again, should be interesting to see who has the edge in this one. Michigan is one of the worst teams in the nation in terms of turning the ball over, so that could be a big factor in the game. Let's go ahead and jump into the highlights, see how it shakes out. So this one was a defensive battle up until the end of the 3rd quarter. Michigan came out in the 4th and scored 2 quick touchdowns to go up 28-14. And that's pretty much going to put this game out of reach. Florida State does get the defensive stop here with 1 timeout left and a minute and a half on the clock. So they're going to get one last chance to try to go down and score. But on 3rd and 19, with the clock running, they're sending a guy in motion. This is not looking promising for the Seminoles. He's got all day to throw back there. Going to throw it over the middle, and that's not nearly going to be enough. Gets about 6 on that play. They're going to hurry back up to the line, try to get another play off here on 4th and long. And in the shotgun, he's going to drop back to pass, throws it out right, but it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. And Michigan's going to end up coming out on top. They pretty much won the stats in every category. And Michigan's going to be advancing to the second round. In the 8 versus 9 matchup, we've got Minnesota taking on Alabama. Alabama in the top 20 and just about every stat on the board. Minnesota, a really strong rushing offense and a pretty good defense to back it up. So let's go ahead and jump into the highlights, see who comes out on top in this one. So this one has been back and forth all game long. Bama just scored to go up by 6 and missed the extra point, so Minnesota with a chance here to go down and take the lead with a touchdown with about 2 minutes left in the game. They've got a 3rd and 5, need to pick this up here to keep the drive alive. It's going to be a pass play, and he can't find anybody. He's going to go down for the sack. That's going to be a loss of 9, and on 4th and 14, they're going to try to go for it. And I'll never understand why the bots use halfback draw on these long 3rd and 4th down plays. Going to end up getting stopped easily. Bama on 3rd down, 1 timeout left for Minnesota. Play action, quarterback's going to take off. He's got the first down, gets it all the way down to about the 4-yard line. And that's going to be it for Minnesota. Bama gets the win 41-35. They're going to advance to the second round. And, you know, that was just a crazy game. So with round 1 out of the way, here's a look at the bracket headed into round 2. We've got our matchup against Michigan in the Fiesta Bowl. We've got a Clemson versus Alabama matchup in the Peach Bowl. That should be an interesting one. We got Stanford taking on Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl. And then we've got Tennessee and Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl. So definitely looking forward to all these matchups. We're going to go into our matchup first against Michigan. So let's go ahead and jump into that one. So here's how we match up against 10th seed Michigan. Not a lot of separation here. Their offense is really good. Our defense is really good. Both teams at -8 for turnover differential. So definitely something to keep an eye on there as well. We're going to go ahead and look at the game highlights, see who ends up winning this one. It's time for the Fiesta Bowl at the home of the Arizona Cardinals. We're taking on 10th seed Michigan. Gonna be interesting to see how Micah Fauanuku, the freshman quarterback, holds up under the bright lights of the college football playoff. Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights. We're going to get the ball first. Fauanuku drops back to pass on 2nd and 4 and connects with Brian Miller, but he drops the ball. They're calling this a fumble, and Michigan falls on it. And we would end up challenging the call on the play. I thought it was just an incomplete pass, but it turns out they ruled it a catch and that he was down before he fumbled. So we do get the ball and the first down. Fauanuku on the very next play, though, is going to be picked off by McGaskey on Michigan. He's going to stiff arm his way all the way down close to the 40-yard line. Not a great start for the freshman quarterback. Hopefully he'll be able to bounce back. Michigan on their first drive in great field position. Floyd hits Hall on the halfback screen pass. He's going to get a first down and get down inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. 21 yards on that one. It's going to be 1st and goal. A couple plays later, 3rd and goal from the 7. Floyd dropping back. Another screen pass to Jenkins. This time he gets knocked down short of the goal line. Going to be 4th and goal. Michigan's going to take the 3 points and a 3-0 lead here. Middle of the first quarter. Next drive for our offense. Quarterback keeper on the option play. Fauanuku spins down close to the 45-yard line for a big first down there. 3rd and 12 later in the drive. Fauanuku rolling out right. Passes it over to Samuel, who gets hit hard and drops the ball. Well short of the first down anyway. Going to be a punt for us. Michigan gets the ball back. Floyd is going to go down for the sack, though, on 3rd and long. Who else? It's Colton Barton, the sack machine himself. We get the ball back on the punt. Next drive, pass over to Justin Brooks. He's going to awkwardly go down. They're going to say his knee dragged on the ground there. That was a weird play. 3rd and 11. Later in the drive, pass over the middle to Brian Miller's complete. He's going to be a yard short of the first down, though. And we're going to go for it here on 4th and 1. Fauanuku dropping back to pass. Slant route over the middle. Brian Miller makes the grab and gets into the end zone for a 10-yard touchdown. Really good catch there and the perfect throw. If he had thrown it ahead of him, I think that would have been knocked down by 94, but throwing it behind him was perfect for that situation. He adjusted well to it. Next defensive possession for us. Michigan completes the pass to Green McKnight, who goes slow-mo mode and then accelerates down the middle of the field and gets into the red zone. 58 yards on the play. That guy's like a head taller than our defenders there. Not too tough for him to make that grab. Next play, 1st and 10, pass over the middle to Darren Glover right for 16 yards down to the 1-yard line. 3rd and goal, though, handoff to the fullback's going to get stuffed at the line of scrimmage. And Michigan's going to go for it this time on 4th and goal, about a foot away from the goal line. But they're going to pass the ball, and he finds Glover right for a touchdown. He was wide open on the out route, and Michigan takes the lead 10-7. Floyd's going to extend his season touchdown record. And on our next drive, Justin Brooks is going to get 10 yards on that one for a first down, moving the chains, keeping the drive alive. 3rd and 7 later on, Faunuku rolling out right, passing it over the middle to Justin Brooks once again, and he's going to get past midfield and knocked out of bounds for a 14-yard gain. 2nd and 6 a couple plays later, Faunuku deep down the middle to Cody Urban, the tight end. He gets down into the red zone, 27 yards and a first down there. 3rd and 1. Faunuku dropping back to pass. Nowhere to go over the middle, not the read there. That one's going to be picked off by Hill, and we don't have anybody that's fast enough to catch him. Doesn't look like anybody's coming up behind him. He's going to take this all the way to the house for a pick 6. And this first half is not going how we would like it to this point. 17-7 is the score, but on the next kickoff after the pick 6, Gerard Cole gets some blocks, and he's streaking down the left side. One man to beat. He's going to beat him. Touchdown on the kickoff return, 104 yards. And Gerard Cole has given this team a spark. Hopefully we'll be able to build on that. 17-14 is the score late in the second quarter. 3rd and 4 halfback screen pass is read by Colton Barton. He knocks it down, and Michigan's going to have to punt the ball back to us. Chance to go down and take the lead this drive. Pass over to Brian Miller's complete. He breaks a tackle and streaking down the right sideline, and he's going to get all the way down to the 5-yard line before he's brought down. And on the next play, 1st and goal, Mike is going to keep it himself on the option play and run it in from 5 yards out. 21-7 is going to be the score. We're going to take the lead for the first time today. And on 2nd and 10, next drive for Michigan, pass over the middle is complete for 14 yards. Going to be a first down there. 3rd and 7 for the Wolverines. Floyd drops back to pass. Can't find anybody. He's going to go out left. A coach is there, but he can't hold on to the interception. He is able to bat it down, and we're going to get the ball back on a punt. 2nd and 10, next drive, under 2 minutes left in the half. Deep pass over the middle in triple coverage. Justin Brooks somehow comes down with that one for 28 yards. And we're moving the ball here late in the first half. Faunuku over the right side to Gerard Cole is going to be good for a first down. He gets knocked out of bounds after an 11-yard gain. 2nd and 1. Trying to move the chains once again. Faunuku over to the right side finds Brian Miller for 14 yards. He's got it in the red zone. Gets out of bounds, stops the clock. Under a minute left, Faunuku on the option keeper. He gets some blocks, cuts it back outside, and he's into the end zone. But there's a flag on the play. It's going to be a clipping. That's going to push us back and have us redo the down. 3rd and 14. A few plays later, Faunuku looking over to the right side. Gets it to Cody Urban, who gets the first down and gets out of bounds inside the 5. Next play, 1st and goal. Faunuku keeps it on the option. He gets his second rushing touchdown of the day. And we're going to go up 28-17 here with 28 seconds left in the half. Next drive for Michigan, Floyd drops back to pass, has all day, gets some blocks, but he throws it into coverage, and look at Colton Barton back here playing DB. We had rushed 2 guys, dropped 9 into coverage, and Colton Barton makes a beautiful interception there to end the half. 28-17 is going to be the score headed into halftime. We're going to try to build on that moving forward. First drive of the second half for the Wolverines. 3rd and short, handoff to Benjamin Hall. He's going to take it outside. Stiff arms his way down inside across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 1st and 10, next play action. Rolling out right, passing over to the right side. Damian Caba's got the interception. He made a jump on the comeback route, and he's going to get the ball back for us in enemy territory for our first drive of the second half. But 3rd and 20, after a couple negative plays, pass over the middle to Brooks is complete. Unfortunately, he's going to be well short of the first down, and Adam Wales is going to come out and knock the field goal right down the middle. 31-17 is going to be the score early in the third quarter. 3rd and 4 next drive for Michigan. Floyd, handoff up the middle. Benjamin Hall gets some space, takes it 10 yards and gets a first down. 3rd and 6. A few plays later, Floyd looking over the middle, finds his man Green McKnight. He's got the ball down to the 23-yard line. Michigan moving the ball now, trying to answer. 3rd and 10, halfback draw up the middle is going to be stopped for a loss. Clarence Goodson goes down, and Michigan's going to take a field goal here to cut the lead down to 11. With a little over 2 minutes left in the third quarter. 1st and 10, first play of the drive. Fawanuku over the middle, gets it to Cody Urban on a dime. Close to midfield, 23-yard pass. Fawanuku approaching 300 yards passing on the game. It's going to go over the middle to Justin Brooks for 17 yards. That's going to get him there. Gets over 300 yards in this game. 2nd and 4. He's going to take off, scrambling, cuts it outside. Gets down inside the 10 to the 9. And on 1st and goal, the next play, Fawanuku drops back to pass. Rolling out right, trying to find somebody. Sees Justin Brooks wide open in the end zone. But Fawanuku took a big hit there, and he's going to miss the rest of this game with a concussion. 2nd and 18, Floyd over to the right side to Moore is complete. He gets a first down, and Moore, 22-yard gain on the play, able to move the chains. Here on 3rd down and short, Floyd over the middle to his running back. That's going to go down for a loss. And on 4th down and about 4, they're going to go for it here near midfield. Floyd is going to throw it over to the left side to Green McKnight, but he steps out of bounds short of the first down. And we're going to take over there on our next possession. We'll see how Nick Harvickson fares in the playoffs here in his first appearance. Unfortunately, on 3rd down and short there, the pass was off the mark. We're going to end up punting the ball back to Michigan. Floyd drops back to pass in his own end zone, avoids the pressure on 3rd down, and he's going to go down for a gain of 1. But Michigan ends up punting here inside their own 10. After a good punt return, we've got the ball down into the red zone now. And Gerard Cole's going to make the reception over the middle. Gets 8 yards, going to be 1st and goal. Next play, Harvickson hands it off to Benny Faison, who cuts it inside, and he's into the end zone for a 6-yard touchdown to make it 45-20. With 4.5 minutes left in this one, that should just about do it. Next drive for Michigan, 3rd down and long. Floyd able to complete the pass to Frederick Moore for 12 yards, but he's going to be short of the first down. They would end up punting, and we were able to run out the rest of this clock. And we're going to advance to the college football playoff semifinals. And it's a good feeling. This is a young team. Definitely a lot harder to get wins with this team than it has been the past few years. But they have persevered to this point since losing to Utah earlier in the season. Fawanuku able to get Player of the Game awards even though he did not play in the fourth quarter, with 321 yards passing, and we are hoisting the Fiesta Bowl trophy. Outgained them 466 to 267. Just dominated through the air, even beat them in rushing yards as well. We haven't been doing great at that this season, but we got the win. So the first second round matchup we're going to take a look at is an old playoff classic. Two teams that have met each other plenty of times in the playoffs. It's 9th seed BAMA taking on 1st seed Clemson. Another really evenly matched game on paper. Clemson with a really good offense, BAMA with a really good defense. Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights, see who ends up winning this one. So this one ended up being a rout, was never even close. As you see here, Clemson goes up 42-10. BAMA able to score to make it 42-17. They do end up getting another touchdown here to make it 42-24, but at this point, BAMA ends up stalling out and Clemson ends up running out the clock to win the game 42-24. Like I said, was never really close. BAMA ended up with more passing yards, but at the end of the day, Clemson just dominated this one start to finish. The next game we've got lined up is 11th seed Tennessee taking on 3rd seed Ohio State. Ohio State really looks like the better team on paper, but Tennessee was supposed to lose the last matchup, so let's go ahead and see if they can pull off another upset. So Tennessee, with 2 minutes left, has a 10-point lead trying to run the clock out. Ohio State down to 2 timeouts, but they're going to throw it on 3rd and 7, and it's picked off by Ohio State. He's got a lane down the left side, and he's taking this all the way to the house. Ohio State's going to get this down to a 3-point deficit with 2 minutes left, 2 timeouts left. This game is definitely not over. They do fail to get the onside kick though, so trying to call timeouts here to stop the clock. Tennessee needs a first down to win it, and they are going to do just that. So Tennessee does what no one thought they could do. They end up getting 2 upsets as a number 11 seed. Going to be the second straight season with a number 11 seed in the Final Four, and they're going to be our opponent for the semifinal match. So definitely looking forward to that one. Should be a very interesting matchup. The final second round game of this playoff is going to be a 5 versus 4 match between Stanford and Wisconsin. Stanford with pretty much the advantage across the board, but if you look at it, Wisconsin does have the number 7 pass offense in the country, and Stanford's pass defense is number 90. So that could be a potential key matchup. Let's go ahead and take a look and see who ends up with the edge. With 4 minutes left, Wisconsin with a 2-point lead. They're going to go up here by 5 with the field goal. 41-36 is going to be the score. Stanford going to try to go down and score a touchdown to get the lead here with 3 minutes left, 3rd and 13. Drops back to pass. Evades the sack, but he's going to go down from behind. Ends up losing 8 yards. Stanford would punt. But a 3rd and 7 here for Wisconsin. If they can get a stop, they'll have one more shot at it, and they do deflect the pass. Wisconsin's going to have to punt the ball back to Stanford. 3rd and 3 on Stanford's drive. Last chance for them here. Halfback draw up the middle's good for a first down near midfield. Horrifying tree mascot there. 3rd and 6 later in the drive. Dropping back to pass. Deep pass down the right side. He had a man wide open, but he overthrew it. That's going to bring up 4th and 6. Last chance for Stanford. Dropping back to pass on the screenplay. It's complete on the outside. He gets the stiff arm, but he's going to be brought down about a yard short of the first. Turnover on downs. Wisconsin's going to get the ball back, and they are able to run the clock down and end up winning 41-36. So Wisconsin's going to be moving on to the semifinal to face off against Clemson. Should be a lot of interesting matchups tomorrow. And by a lot of interesting matchups, of course, I mean 2 interesting matchups between Clemson and Wisconsin in the Orange Bowl, Houston and Tennessee in the Cotton Bowl. Should be a lot of fun. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for that video. And that's going to be it for this one. If you don't mind, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about the long format playoff videos. If you guys like seeing the highlights, that's great. If not, let me know. If you want to see more of the highlights, let me know. I really appreciate it. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the semifinal round.